I think I do prefer being 50 points in the lead than 20 behind or whatever.
It's easier that way, yeah.
I was 7 years old when I started to drive with rally car myself.
7?
So
could you reach
7?
the pedals?
I remember I was like 3 or 4 years old when my dad was still racing in F1 that I saw this like little, well, mock-up, like cockpit. And I was trying to squeeze into it. I was of course way too small, but they found a way with pillows that I could drive basically.
Hey team, welcome back to Talking Bull, powered by Arbitrade. We are back for a brand new series. We've had a little break, but now we're officially back. I'm Nicola Hume, I'm your host, and joining me for this season, we've got a brand new co-host. Hi, Tommo McCluskey.
Hi, Nicola Hume.
Are you all right?
Thank you for inviting me to your forbode, the queen of Talking Bull.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm very much looking forward to indulging in Talking Bull with you this year.
I mean, this is literally like your first day on the job.
I mean, it's deep end. There's deep ends, and then there's Monaco Energy Station, top floor.
Yeah,
It's been a day.
Tell me what you're going to be bringing to the podcast.
Well, that's a good question. That's a very good question. I guess with Talking Bull this year, expanding more kind of race report analysis, talking about what's going on live. Obviously, still doing the amazing interviews that we do with the team at Oracle Rebel Racing, and just getting into the nitty gritty of how the season's going. We're here at Monaco this weekend, round 8, and following the rest of the season, getting into the nuts and bolts of it, the details.
Nice.
Really breaking it all down.
Tell me your thoughts on the season so far, please.
It's a good question. It's been so nip and tuck, hasn't it? I think as these regulations have evolved, it's got super tight, super close. The margins in qualifying have been, the amount we've been vast majority of qualifying sessions we're within a tenth in terms of P1 to P2. It's and Max has been able to clutch up so many times as well. I think Suzuka, I think the move in Imola. There's just been so many moments, and it's like now we've got to a position where Max knows how to be the chaser. He knows how to win from the front, but also he knows how to take advantage of opportunities. And he'll have, this is his 10th year in the sport. It's a long time. It's a long career he's had already, and he's still in his 20s, which makes me feel old.
But look, on this podcast, so we are kicking off the brand new season here of Talking Bull, powered by Arbitrade, and we have so much coming up for you this season. It's going to be wild. Clearly, we're kicking off with Monaco. We're starting with a bang.
I mean, we've started up there, right?
And
the only way is up.
And we're also starting, bearing in mind this is literally your first day on the job, with a chat with Max Verstappen.
Yes, I mean, there's ways of kicking things off, and then there's ways of kicking things off. In at the deep end, you know what? I think it was. Oh, should we head to it?
Should we head to it?
Should we get to it? I think we should.
Let's have a look. Let's have a big
He's
round
trying
of
to
applause
catch us out.
for your four-time world champion. It's Max Verstappen.
Hi.
Took your time. Sit down.
Yes, I was very busy up top.
Welcome. How are you? How was your commute to work this morning from home?
It was definitely a bit better than what it was on Thursday. On the way back Thursday, I think the waves were bigger than the boat, so it was quite hectic. This morning was very nice because I think everyone was still hungover, so they were still sleeping.
It must be nice doing the Monaco Grand Prix because you live here, so you can literally just go back to your own bed, bring a packed lunch, like you're just set up, right?
I do prefer Monaco when it's not race weekend, to be honest. It's a little bit less busy. But honestly, Monaco Grand Prix is crazy. Very hectic. The track, of course, is iconic. So, there's always a lot of excitement around it. And I even remember, of course, before I even raced there myself, you would always tune in for qualifying to see what would happen.
Yeah.
And Max, obviously being so close to home, so close to your simulator as well.
Yes.
Has Franz Hermann got any sim racing booked in this weekend?
I think he's pretty booked up for the weekend, so he's basically taking a weekend off.
When is his next event?
I need to have a call with him on Monday, see what happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've noticed he's started selling merch on your website, which is quite weird because you're not the same
free
person.
of charge as well.
Really?
I'm very generous,
Is that Franz or is that Max being very generous?
I don't know. I mean, Franz is quite generous too.
Is Max and Franz the same? Different? What are the key differences?
It depends on the day, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, look, Franz is all by the by, but we have to talk about Imola, Max, because just a week ago, have you now had time? You're looking back, you're seeing all of the offboards of your move into turn 2, 3. How do you reflect on that move? Because I think very much the sentiment is that was a hell of an overtake, mate.
Yeah.
Come on.
Franz approved, so that's always nice. It was honestly, the start itself wasn't that great, but I just saw the opportunity and went for it, and it looks nice. I enjoyed it, of course, also at the time, and that also really made our race, because once you're in the lead, you can see what your pace is like, and it just really made our race, to be honest.
Me and Tommo were talking about it earlier and saying, when it comes to your career highlights when you eventually retire, I feel like that clip would be in the mix.
I guess so. Luckily, there are a lot of memories before that as well, which they're very hard to, basically topple. So, let's see what happens in a few years.
Now, look, over the last couple of years, at this point in the season, you were around 50 points ahead. Now, slightly different,
yes.
But how do you feel about that? Are you enjoying being the hunter rather than the hunted?
It doesn't really matter, even though I think I do prefer being 50 points in the lead than 20 behind or whatever.
Yeah, it's easier that way, yeah.
I think everyone, prefers that, but of course that's not the reality, but it's still a very long season. You want to do very well here, but you also want to do very well in Barcelona, and that's how you keep going. And like we said before, Imola was a very positive weekend for us. Street circuits are always a little bit more hectic and sometimes a little bit more random as well in terms of the end result. But plenty of races left where we can do a good job.
Do you feel you consciously change your approach at all when you've got that points advantage versus deficit, and it must be hard because I imagine you just need to focus on your own job and what you can do. But when you see that points difference, that's got to have some kind of effect, maybe subconsciously.
Well, I think you just always want to try and maximize what you got. If that, of course, is winning races or not, and that's what you always have to try to aim for. Be as consistent as you can be throughout the year without making too many mistakes. I think that's always key.
How is it driving alongside Yuki Tsunoda? Now, from what we see on social media, he is wonderfully weird. I need to know if he's wonderfully weird in real life or if he's just completely normal.
No, I like Yuki. He's a great teammate. He's very funny. We get on very well. Of course, I know him already for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Him being part of the Red Bull family, so he's cool. Yeah, absolutely, a lot of fun. And he likes to eat. Yeah,
Sushi.
I'm always a bit jealous with how much he can eat.
Has he made sushi for you?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
And has he taught you any Japanese, and have you taught him any Dutch? And I want to know in particular.
We cannot say those words here.
Okay, so it's swear words.
I thought that would be the answer.
Yeah, it's better not to.
That's the first thing you learn, isn't it? It's the naughty words.
Yes.
Now, I sent out on my Instagram to ask for some questions for you, and I thought it was quite a nice little way to make our way into talking about your family. So I got a message from Tom Bagels, that's his name. He said, how do you find sim racing while also being a new dad?
Well, it's just my hobby, my passion. There's a lot involved with it as well. Having your own sim team, checking in on them as well, how they're performing. I like to race myself besides F1, and whenever I can combine all those things together. I mean, there are 24 hours in a day, so when you can spend a few hours of that in the sim, it works out. Not every day, but it does work out for me.
When's Lily getting her first simulator?
Well, it's definitely much cheaper than racing in real life, so I might have to think about that.
That's the way.
Yeah.
And do you remember what was your first simulator experience? Like, do you remember like a video game or whatever? Like, where it started for you?
Well, I remember I was like 3 or 4 years old when my dad was still racing in F1 that I saw this like little, mock-up, like cockpit. And I was trying to squeeze into it. I was, of course, way too small, but they found a way with pillows that I could drive, basically. Someone was controlling the pedals and I was steering already. So that's my first memory.
I also need to give a shout out to you for having a pink steering wheel. You are
like
such a girl dad.
Yes, I got it, and I was like, well, that has to go on to the simulator now.
Yeah, very nice. Oh, by the way, so Tommo is actually the new co-host here on Talking Ball, so he's going to be joining us a lot. And I just wanted to let you know, he has a Dachshund. I have 2 Dachshunds. You now have a Dachshund.
Yeah.
Let's discuss sausages.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Sure.
Nino,
important.
right?
Yes.
Talk to me about Nino's puppy.
He's 9 months now.
Chaos.
Oh wow.
Well,
okay.
he's actually very sweet, to be honest. He does terrorize the cats a bit, but they all get on very well. Actually, it's very funny to see.
Does Nino try and sit on your lap while you're on your sim? Because Minton does that to me all the time.
He has tried, but the cats try that as well. So sometimes I have a cat stuck between the pedals.
You're trying to do a 24-hour race and you've just got cats and dogs jumping. How do you? Okay, fine.
Yeah. Wonderfully dangerous.
Yes, because they might.
That door must be so scratched.
Once a race where a cat flew through my cables and it turned off my force feedback. So that's not ideal.
Max, thank you so much for joining us here on Talking Ball. As always, you're a wonderful guest. Wishing you all the best for the rest of the season. Go smash it.
Thank you.
Go smash it. Max Verstappen, everyone.
Maximilian Verstappen.
Is he a Maximilian?
Yeah, he is.
Or is he a Maximus?
He's a Maximilian.
Oh, he's a Maximilian. I didn't know that.
Good form.
Good form.
Good form.
Always. Always.
Got to say, that was intense. For me, that was intense. Never met Max before. And, look, I'm an F1 fan first and foremost. Max is one of them drivers that I was like, I hope to meet him one day. And that was, but it's just, he walks up and you're just like, yeah, he's just a normal bloke.
He is,
That's what kind of strikes me most about him.
It's bonkers. But look, I mean, we've spoken Formula One, we've spoken sim racing, but coming up in a bit, we're going to be talking rally.
It's funny you mentioned that, Nicola, because we are going to sit down with two-time WRC World Champion Kalle Rovanperä to talk all things rally. He's doing so much. The Max Verstappen of rally is a title that's often levelled at Kalle. So let's have a chat with him. Kalle Rovanperä, welcome to Talking Ball. How are you, first and foremost?
Thank you. I'm all good.
You good? What have you been up to?
Not too much. I had a pretty free week this week, so I have been just hanging around. I'm living here, so...
So you're basically just chilling out at home. That's how you treat Monaco. That's how you treat the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah, pretty much.
And what a place to live as well. I mean, it's just like, for me and Nicola, it's our first time here ever in Monaco. It's unbelievable. This is actually a real place.
Yeah, it's quite amazing place. But yeah, for sure, for me it's a bit different. When I live here, I don't really see it that way. But yeah, for sure, when you come first time, it's quite impressive. Definitely during the F1 weekend.
And obviously, Kalle, to kind of explain to the audience, because in WRC, your discipline, you do race in Monte Carlo, but it's a very different stage to what we see in terms of Formula One. So can you just give a kind of brief overview of the differences between the Monaco, the Monte Carlo that you experienced behind your Rally 1 car versus what the F1 drivers are experiencing this weekend?
Yeah, to be honest, even if it's called Rally Monte Carlo, we have the start here and the finish line basically. So we drive in France up the mountains. It can be actually quite far from here. It depends from year to year. But yeah, we are up the mountains. Usually in January there is snow and ice, also tarmac. So yeah, definitely what the guys see here on the F1 track is quite different. We see all those conditions, and yeah, it's not really driving in Monaco. So yeah, we don't have any stage actually inside the country here, but yeah, it's still close by.
It would be a fun stage to add. Imagine adding Monaco at the end, a few laps. That would be so much fun, surely, in your rally car.
It would be actually, and I think early 2000s they did some stage here, but
did they?
Yeah, but not anymore.
Oh, okay. So would you enjoy driving your rally car around this track that we've got for F1?
I would say, yeah, for sure.
What would you find the most challenging corner? What corners do you look at and think, oh, hang on a second?
Well, I don't know what would be the most challenging one. In a rally car, this place would feel quite big. We are used to much more tight and narrow. So this is like double the size or triple the size on the stages what we actually do with the car. So I would think it would be pretty easy actually with the rally car compared to the real stages we do.
But also, weirdly, if you were to drive this circuit in your rally car and to race this in your rally car, it would feel different for you because you would know where you're going.
Basically, yes and no. Of course, in rallying, we also know where we're going because we can do 2 times, let's say, sightseeing lap through the stages. And that's when we do, during the recce, we do the pace notes. So I'm telling my co-driver the notes what I want to hear. First time we go through, second time we go through, he's reading them back and we correct them. And then third time we come with the race car full speed. So yeah, of course we don't know every place, but at least I know what's coming up.
Can you your relationship with your co-driver, and I mean, you watch an onboard of a rally car and it's unbelievable that the margins, it's so fine, and you are driving into a lot of unknown in terms of conditions. And, you know, how long did it take for your relationship with your co-driver to really gain that trust, I suppose? You need to have that mutual trust, right?
Yeah, actually with my current one, it was pretty quick. My co-driver is a bit older, so he had some experience already also. And yeah, for sure, it takes a few years to really be sure what's coming up. And every time we work together in the beginning, of course, every time we can fine tune what I want and what time. So of course the co-driver then can learn what things I need and what time. Because yeah, the time when he needs to call the nose for me is really important. Some drivers want it really late. I'm actually one of the drivers who have it really early. So
Right.
he can read me 4 corners before we even drive the first one.
Wow.
So many drivers don't really understand that, and they don't remember them. I remember what he calls, so then I can, you know, choose myself how I drive all those corners. I can link them together. I can decide what I want to do during each corner. So yeah, it depends on the driver how you want it.
Actually.
No.
That's really interesting.
Do you have your own sort of language that you have just between the two of you to kind of make the communication a little bit shorter? If there's something really snappy, then if there's like a really detailed corner coming up, there's like really quick language to communicate to each other.
So yeah, basically all the pace notes are words in our style of how we do them. Some mark the corners as numbers, how tight they are.
Yeah.
For every tightness, I have different word. So we have like 15 words for corner tightness only.
15?
Then all the other words, all the details.
Wow.
Cut, don't cut, stay inside, stay outside.
Wow.
All the small things. There is, I don't know, 100 words probably for us. And yeah, if a Finnish person hears them, most of them don't make any sense. They are just words what are easy to read and quick to read, and what I understand. So we can choose ourselves basically what they mean.
Do you think, obviously, bringing it kind of back to Formula One, you know, the closest to a co-driver is your race engineer, and obviously GP with Max, that's such a relationship there. Do you think GP could do a good job as a co-driver, or do you think that would be actually quite a big learning curve? Because I guess it's the capacity, but the thing with GP is he's sitting on a pit wall, not in a car, jumping over hills and flying around corners, right? That's the difference.
Yeah, I think so. That's the difference, and for sure, what I've seen them work together, they do really cool stuff, even during the race, speaking a lot and communicating a lot. But I think for sure, for a co-driver, the biggest challenge is being in the car, like you said. You have all these things happening, and on many stages we nowadays go super fast. The cars are getting faster and faster. So if it's a technical section, it can be, I don't know, 500 meters during the co-driver is not watching the road at all. He has to feel where he is. So my co-driver is just reading, looking down, and he knows all the time where we are going and
Does he
what
not
point.
get car sick?
No, I think that's the first thing you need
surely.
to. I think that's the first thing you need to have as a co-driver. You cannot get car sick.
I'd be a mess.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, be an absolute mess.
So yeah, co-driving is super hard. Like I couldn't do it. First of all, I don't want to sit next to anybody because it's horrible. But of course, also to learn the timing and everything, like I said, those guys also have a really demanding job.
So impressive. And obviously, Kalle, you 2 world titles. 2024, you kind of took a bit of time away, kind of split the season. Seven races, 4 wins. So still, for taking a bit of time off, you still won 4 rally stages. What did you... I know you raced in a few other disciplines, tried a few things out. How did you find 2024 taking a step away from WRC for a bit?
Yeah, I found it really nice, to be honest. Of course, the biggest thing for me was driving a bit of circuit racing, different races, different style of things, testing a little bit of F1 car and all those cool things.
Saw that, yeah.
So yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. I really enjoyed that, and I think I found a little bit of, next and more interest on circuit racing also. I really like that.
Okay. Because I mean, I've been keeping an eye on your YouTube channel. You're doing your vlogs, I think the Carreras, right?
Yeah.
Around the. How have you found that? I guess, circuit racing, rally challenges you on every type of surface. You've got gravel, you've got dirt, you've got a bit of tarmac, and then go into what are the main kind of differences, or what was the learning curve, the biggest learning curve for you going from rally to circuit racing?
I think on circuit racing, it's definitely the details are much smaller. On a rally car, yeah, for sure we need a really good setup to be fast. You need good pace notes to really push hard on the stages. You need to remember the stages. But still the driver is doing much bigger part of the result actually. That if I have a good car and I have a stage, I can just basically choose to push. And I know usually always I can be fast if I just choose to push. If I take more risk, I can be faster. On circuit, everybody is already on the limit. Everybody is pushing because they know every corner, they know every meter of the track. So it's about the details, about finding the fast car, the setup, and that's what I like there. It's different, so I need to learn how to push the small limits, how to find the details.
Here's the thing, you've achieved so much at such a young age. Like, the world is your oyster right now, but there seems to be something with Finland and motorsport that just goes hand in hand. So was there anyone in particular growing up that kind of inspired you? Obviously your dad was a racing driver anyway, but was there anyone else, any other drivers that kind of inspired you as a kid?
To be honest, not so much when I was a kid. My dad was obviously the one who I was always looking up to. Sitting next to him when he was doing, I don't know, show runs and whatever, I was with him in the car.
Yeah.
That's what I really like. That's always what I was watching. I want to do that. And then, yeah, I was 7 years old when I started to drive with rally car myself.
7?
So
could you reach
7?
the pedals?
yeah, we
But you were
made some.
7?
We made some special seat and pedals.
Wow.
But I think that's the
So
reason why I didn't
adorable.
have anybody looking up to, because I think when I was 8, I started to focus on myself. I was
Yeah.
I was looking after myself, and I
That's
knew
amazing.
that I need to do well, and I wanted to do well.
7-year-old. Like, I don't know what I was doing at 7.
Who was your co-driver? Was it your dad?
No, actually, he was never really co-driving much. He was also never really teaching me. I didn't really have any proper teaching.
Oh.
He told me the basics. That's
Yeah.
how you drive a car, and then I
natural.
just went there and started to, imitate what he was doing. I was
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
watching he was doing, and then I went to the car and did it myself. And then when he saw me doing something, he was like, "Why did you do that?" And I was like, "Well, you're doing it also, so I thought it's good." So
I love that, but I also wonder, like, if your dad ever jumped in and he could be your co-driver, if you would just end up, kind of like that father-son, "Oh, shut up, stop telling me what to do."
Yeah,
that
you're
kind
not
of
gonna-
relationship.
because he's your dad, almost you might not listen to him
Yeah.
as much because it's your dad,
yeah, he was not really co-driving. At that time, we were just practicing, not doing rallies, obviously, because
Yeah.
I was too young. So yeah, I just drove the stages alone, or my cousin at the time was always co-driving me. We were practicing pace notes with him. He was
Yeah.
like 15 years old at the time. So yeah, it was cool. We were just kids having fun. It was
Yeah,
not
of
that
course.
serious at that time.
You say like, it was just, when you're a kid, you it's fun and you do it for the pure enjoyment. At what age did you start do you remember there being a point where you were like, oh, hang on, I could actually make a career of this? Or was, because your father had done that, had you always seen that as a potential way of ultimately making a living, right, and making a career for yourself?
Yeah, I would say when I was starting to really do the first rallies in Latvia, they had this special rule that even without driving license you can do the rallies, because the driver is only driving the stage and co-driver then was driving on the road section because they're public
okay,
roads.
right, yeah.
So yeah, when I was 12, 13, we started to do the first races. The second year already, I won. No, the third year I won the championship in the two-wheel class, and probably after that, when I really saw that I can do well, of course, then I started to think that's what I want to do. I want to win more, and probably I can do it well. So yeah, of course, I needed to see a few rallies how it goes.
of course.
So from where you've been, test driving F1 cars and doing lots of different versions of motorsport, is there any particular motorsport that you're like, no, there is no way I'm doing that? Or do you just want to try everything?
Well, I pretty much have been trying everything.
Like drag racing?
Indy 500s?
Dakar?
No, I haven't tried those, to be honest. But I could do probably anything. It's
Give it a go.
It's not really about. I have never really been thinking that I don't want to do this or
Yeah.
this. I'm quite open. I I ride bikes, I ride motocross on my free time. I have been doing snowmobiles, bikes, everything my whole childhood, and I still do. So
Yeah.
There's just no fear in you whatsoever. Bearing in mind, when we arrived here today, Tommo got freaked out a little bit by the tiny height that we were up. So he gets freaked out by heights.
Nicola, it wasn't tiny.
Meanwhile,
okay. I'm sorry.
you're just ragging it in every vehicle that you can find. There's just no fear there.
yeah, not really. Of course, I think when you choose a profession like what I have, you cannot really fear driving. Rallying is definitely one of the most scariest.
Of course, yeah.
In many ways,
Yeah.
we have stages where you can choose to hit a tree or fall off a cliff 300 meters, and everybody knows what happens if you do that. So it's still pretty dangerous sport, even nowadays. So.
And obviously, where you started so early, that inherent ability behind the wheel is going to grow. So when you jumped into the Red Bull last year, was it at the Red Bull Ring? What was that experience like? And what was because I know a lot of drivers talk about the braking G-force is the biggest surprise. Like, did you find that a surprise, how quickly this Formula One car actually stops?
I would say it was pretty much to my expectations. You know,
Not phased, just...
So chill.
well, of course, it's a way different car what I'm used to drive. I have never driven Formula cars before that day, so. But yeah, of course, when you hear it, everybody says the braking is amazing, the cornering speed is amazing, though. So yeah, then you're expecting it. So
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
it's really impressive. But it was also what I was expecting, and of course, very different to what we can do in our cars.
I think whenever I'm watching rally, the bit that I enjoy the most is when you get airtime in the car, when the whole car lifts off the ground.
I'm from Finland, and Finnish rally has the most jumps of the calendar. All the Finns are used to jumping quite a lot. I don't really like much jumping.
Oh, really?
No, not really. I've never been a fan of jumping. I'm not doing super big jumps ever. And yeah, it's surprisingly rough in the car. I know in TV it looks that the suspension what we have is amazing. We can jump 50 meters and we can land from quite high, let's say, we can come from quite high altitude, and it looks smooth, but it's not. It's actually quite rough. So yeah, when you're pushing in the rally car, sometimes we have jumps where you need to be fast, you need to jump a lot, but it's not super enjoyable in the car. The hit is quite big.
I have to ask, obviously we're here for the Grand Prix weekend. You have been described as Max Verstappen of rally. Do you reckon you could jump in a car with Max? Like, who would be driver, who would be co-driver?
Depends which kind of driving, I think. If we are on a circuit, for sure I would be happy to go drive Max. If it would be a rally stage, for sure not. I would not go drive even myself on a rally stage. It's horrible. I would never do it.
Because we've seen Max try out different disciplines. Like, you know, I feel like you both share that maybe like desire to try out other motorsports, and I guess that inherent ability and talent that you have as a racing driver ultimately kind of carries over towards different, you know. I guess I do want to ask, because rally for me was first before F1 even, like that's the first motorsport I really fell into. If you could plug yourself into any generation of rally, whether it's the Group B or the early 90s, any particular, what's the era for you that you would have loved to have raced in?
I would say probably 90s, Group A. Group A to early WC cars. So yeah, 90s would be cool. When I hear the stories my dad always tells.
Yeah.
Of course, world was different, but also rallying was very different. Nowadays it's not even the same sport in a way. The pace, what we do is much different. We learn the stages nowadays because we have videos. So we are watching videos all the time. We just try to learn the stages. I can do many rallies nowadays, basically many stages without even the co-driver, because I know the stage so well. And when my dad was driving, they actually drove from the pace notes. So the pace was lower. Now we really drive like qualification on a circuit racing. Every braking is once, every turning is once. If you make one small mistake, you can watch it from the clock at the end of the stage.
Yeah.
And at that time they drove like, I don't know, 30 seconds faster than the others if somebody just was pushing. So it was very different. Now the margin is much smaller.
You were saying that your dad has loads of like old rallying stories. Are there any stories that you can share with us?
Not really. all of them are quite rough, to be honest. At least the good ones.
Yes, that's usually the case. Amazing. That was Kalle, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much
Really
for joining us.
appreciate it.
Thank
Are
you.
you going to be all right getting back? Do you need a co-driver to help you get back to where you need to get, or I can walk and direct you?
You're not a co-driver material, I don't
I'm
think,
not.
Nicola.
No, I was a co-driver once, right?
Hang on a second.
I was here, and we were doing the eco rally for with the FIA. And I was co-driver, and I got us lost because I didn't know where we were. I was trying to read it, and I found it's so. As a co-driver, it's such hard work, and I think co-drivers need to have that little bit more respect for the amount of work and the effort that goes into what they do. Not just what you do, but what they do is so impressive.
Yeah, that's what I said before. They definitely have a demanding job, and I couldn't do it, so.
No way. Well, clearly I can't do it.
No. I think I will be fine. I will find my way out.
Yeah.
You'll find your way.
Well, enjoy the rest of your Grand Prix weekend. Thank you very, very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kalle.
Give me your advice for Max ahead of the race, please. Obviously, he's going to hear this afterwards, but give us your advice for Max ahead of the race.
Just full send.
Full
send.
send.
Nice.
Love it.
For 2025, we're excited to welcome ArvaTrade, the presenting partner of the award-winning Talking Ball podcast.
ArvaTrade is a globally regulated, multi-award winning broker.
Featuring over 1,250 tradable instruments from CFDs and futures to options.
With trading platforms like MT4 and MT5, as well as their mobile app or web trader.
ArvaTrade is built to empower traders to trade with confidence anytime, at any level. What a lovely guy, and also utterly fearless.
There's something in the water in Finland.
Yeah.
We need to try a bit because, I mean, look, this guy's living the dream, honestly.
Yeah.
Like mid-20s, winning in rally, winning in Carreras, drifting, driving it. Like, I'm very jealous. I've
Just
got to be
winning
honest.
all the
Like,
things.
it's just what a
and
man.
living in Monaco and
What
just
a man.
casually coming to a Grand Prix. What a guy.
Just nice guy. It's
Yeah.
just very, very nice guy. Kalle, legend. Would love to, I'll keep a good eye on him this season, I think, in WRC. Because maybe a 25 world title, we'll see.
Who knows? Who
knows?
But look, we've got this weekend to look ahead to. I mean, look, as we are recording this is before quali, so we don't actually know the results of this weekend yet. But when this episode goes out, we'll obviously know the results. But I am excited about the rest of the season for Talking Ball, because we've got some serious plans.
We've got a lot, up until the summer break, we've got a lot coming up, booked in big time.
Yeah.
Up to the summer break, and then beyond them, it's going to be back to back to back. We've got a busy period coming up.
Going to be busy. Also, it's been lovely having you as my new co-host. This is great. I like this. Happy with this.
Listen, it's like we're brother and sister already.
Yeah.
We've already settled in. I'm not
We
going to
have the same birthday.
We have the same
weird
birthday.
is that?
That is weird. A 1 in
weird.
365 chance.
So weird. Yeah.
That is very strange. And
Yeah.
it's a nasty January birthday as well.
18th. Yeah, just in case you want to send us presents.
Rotten. Yeah, if you do. It's the one where you want to escape the UK.
But
yeah.
look, we've escaped the UK to end up here.
We
So
have.
let's go and enjoy qualifying.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening or watching. If you are, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, then subscribe to the Oracle Rebel Racing YouTube channel and leave comments, because, hey, Mr. YouTuber, you understand how that all works.
Let us know what you want
Yeah.
to see from Talking Ball. Please let
Yeah.
us know, because we want to hear from you. It makes our jobs easier as well.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
Lovely. We'll
Happy
see you
days.
next time.